All right, here we go. How's it going? Welcome back. Thanks for coming. Today is March 1st, 2024. How was your February? This was mine. Time flies when you're just living life. Today is the Hotline Show. Every Friday, we take calls. The number is below. You call, leave a message. I've been getting a lot of calls lately, which is good. It means people want to call in and people are watching. So I can't get to all of them. The show would be way too long. So I cut it down quite a bit. Maybe we'll do more than one a week. I don't know. But if I don't answer your call this week, it doesn't mean it wasn't good. I actually had to cut a lot of good questions this week. But I'll try to get to it next or just keep calling back. We'll see. Without further ado, let's just get into it. Let's take a call. Let's see what's going on. First caller.
This sounds like current Noah. I was hoping to leave a message for future Noah. So if this is the right number, let me know. I want to know from future Noah if there's actually such thing as free will. I know that the current Noah would probably say no because he's just so depressed looking on, concerned about his mats warping and all that. But I think that future Noah would have a much better idea of what's going on with that philosophy. I don't even know how to say that word. Anywho, I just want to know if there's such thing as free will. That's only for the future Noah. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks for that question. Free will. Well, not for me. Do you think I'm depressed looking? Because my mats are warping, which they are. And I was looking into buying new ones, but maybe not. I'm not sure. I actually do believe in free will. This is current Noah, but let's see what future Noah thinks. Although I'm not totally sure I can call the future. I think only he can call me. Not totally sure how this. Yeah, that's how it works. But we'll try. Let's give it a call. There's no dial pad, but maybe it's a direct connection. Let's see. Yeah, it's just ringing. Nothing. What are you doing? Don't you know? You can't call me. I can only call you. That's how it works. The past can't call the future. The future can only call the past. Anyway, this looks a little better, right? Got a new webcam. Actually, not really a webcam. It's that Osmo 3 Pocket. It's so good. Maybe I'll do a review about it. Anyway, free will and the philosophy of free will. I agree with current Noah. I do believe in free will. I've tried to wrap my head around this philosophical concept that Sam Harris brings up a lot. Maybe caller listens to him. Every time they talk about the lack of free will, the concept that we don't actually have free will, my eyes kind of glaze over and I'm like, this isn't interesting, and also I don't really believe it. I mean, I get the point that they say you can't control the situation in which you were born into, right? Like, it's almost seems like it's luck. Your life is just luck of the draw, and all of the things that you experience are because of that, and you had nothing to do with it. But I think on a smaller level, any point of the day, most people can do anything they want. So that's my thought on free will. Let's get back to current Noah, who has no idea I just did this. Well, I guess we'll never know. what he thinks. Let's go to the next call.
Hi Noah. There's something I've been wanting to ask. Would you consider the future Noah bits of the newer videos to be a reflection of the audience? Or are they like an inner struggle or something else? Um, I struggle to feel truly happy with with most photos I shoot. And I always think I can do better. And yeah, also in my normal work, I feel like I'm not good enough and I should do better. And I've been previously self-deprecating a lot, but I learned to stop to do that. Um, if you have these troubles, I hope you find a way out of them. I think you deserve that. And well, yeah, thank you for making these films. I find them very intriguing, and I really enjoyed the woodpecker close-up shots. We don't have them around here, and I think it's a beautiful creature. Thank you for sharing that. Bye.
Thank you for that call. Which, by the way, that was a special call. He left a voice memo and emailed it to me. That's why that quality was really nice. If you're not in the United States and you're having trouble calling, you can do that. Leave a voice memo on your phone, I guess, and just email it to me, and I'll try to get to it. So, future Noah, a lot of people are wondering about that character. And yeah, I think he is a reflection of both the inner struggle, me, and the audience. But I think I am the audience. I obviously make this, actually do this all sort of in one take. And then I sit down and edit pretty much right after. And then I'm seeing what I should have said or what I was thinking about and I wasn't articulating correctly. So I am basically my own audience. And like most things with work that we make, and it sounds like you, caller, you make something and you're not happy with it. And that is actually totally normal. It's very few things that I'm totally happy with. I think most things I do are good enough, which I think is also fine. You're never going to really find perfection. Also, kind of sounds like you might have imposter syndrome, which again is just an artist's sickness. It's a disease, but it's just part of the struggle. It's part of the craft of creativity. And you're never going to feel like you're doing it right or you're good or you're the best and other people are better and you're a fraud. Totally normal. These are things that we deal with. We do the best we can. I think if you really believe in yourself and trust your instincts, that's enough. I don't think it's bad to be self-deprecating, though. I think you shouldn't always necessarily take yourself so seriously. So I think it's fine to put yourself down. I mean, obviously, I do that with characters that I have on this channel. I think it's exhausting when artists really just think that they're so serious and special. I think that's ridiculous. They're phonies. And actually, I know very big artists, very famous people who, when you really talk to them, you know, behind the scenes, when the facade is down, they're struggling too. So this is just not uncommon. Lastly, that woodpecker, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's amazing seeing these creatures. And this kind of reminds me of another question that we got from Will in a previous show about traveling and photographers traveling. And then I was like, sometimes you find things right at home. And a lot of the times when I'm making work, especially locally, I don't think about how I might necessarily see the things that I'm photographing. I think about how strange they might be to people who have never been here before, or how interesting and unique they are. And they might seem so boring or mundane because I see it all the time, but to other people, especially around the world, it's like, whoa, never seen that before. And it's very cool. It's introducing new things to people. So that's a thing about making work close to home and the audience that you may or may not have. Caller, thank you for that. Lots of great questions there. All right. Well, you kind of went on and on. Might be a little boring. The caller might appreciate it. I'm not sure about the rest of the audience, but we're going to keep it in. It's fine. Next caller.
Hey, Noah. This is Michael. I love your show, your art, and your content. Hey, I thought the triangle of quality as it relates to how much you care about cameras is really interesting. I'm wondering where else that graph might apply, either in photography, art, or life in general. That's it. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.
Michael, thank you for that call. The triangle of quality, it's taking the world by storm. Spread it. It doesn't have to be credited to me. Just get it out there. Yeah, where else could you apply it? I've heard from a few people that say music has a similar triangle. People get all, you know, concerned about guitars or pedals and amps, and the second gear plays a role. The tools, you can just start getting too into that stuff, and it's technical. It's like the math part of an art practice, and it's like math isn't, it's just not cool. It's structured. It's too rigid. And while it could be interesting and fun to learn about, and certainly you want to learn about the tools that you're using, I don't really think that's where the art comes from. Art comes from using those things, and it really doesn't matter. We all know this. Everyone knows this. The tools just are insignificant to making work and trying to express yourself. You can do it with anything. So that's it. There's probably a lot of other art practices, painters and their brushes, their paints, life. That's it. I have photo on the brain lately. That's my thing. So it's what I think about, but I'm sure you can apply it to many other things. Thanks for the call. Next caller.
Hi, Noah. This is Rich, longtime watcher, first time caller. I just caught your episode February 20 about the housekeeping and your story with the barred owl and trying to get a good photo of it. I found it very relatable because I'm an arborist, and this morning I was out looking at trees and I happened to glance up at this oak, and less than 10 feet away from me was this hawk, and it was a little cold out. I had gloves on, so I had to struggle to get those off and then get out my iPhone to take a photo of it. And by the time that all went down, the hawk had flown away, and was very frustrated about the whole endeavor. And I thought I would share that with you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Rich, thank you. Thank you for the call. Arborist, that's kind of awesome. Kind of wish I did that sometimes. And I could use one around here. I have some questions about trees. Maybe come by. Got a lot of trees around here. Yeah, the birds that get away. I mean, that's part of what makes bird photography fun or a challenge. It's the pain. It's the suffering. It's the trying, the practice, the quest, it never ending. They're always flying away. And in fact, while I'm recording right now, I hear that barred owl out there, and I'm not even making it up like I usually do. I hear it, and I wish I could go out there, but I know, because yesterday, same thing around this time, I go out, walk, flies away. We'll get it one day, but that's the quest, and you're on it, and good luck. Next caller.
Hey, Noah. It's JK from the Eastern Sierra in California. Yeah, I mean, the show's been okay so far. I mean, I think it can only get better, right? My question relates to platforms and platforms as mediums. YouTube is a platform, but it's also a format, a medium. And just how are you considering that with the work? Maybe a metaphor is almost like how land art sort of positioned itself relative the white box of a gallery, you could say like work that exists outside of a platform today. Or is it made for the platform is kind of similar. So anyhow, thanks, I think. Bye.
JK from California, thanks for the call. Yeah, the show's gonna get better. It's fine. We just started. I have another call that is related to this. I'm gonna play that, and then I think I'm gonna answer both together.
Hey, Noah, this is Dan, longtime listener, first-time caller. Just want to say that I've always appreciated seeing you work through what formats could look like when it comes to your pictures. I always really enjoyed kind of the differences among platforms that you use, like the pictures that look like this blog on Tumblr and Vine. Oh man, do I miss Vine? But I feel like we're getting the same treat right now when you're working through what it is that a YouTube channel can be. So it's very fun to watch. Keep it up. Thanks very much.
Dan, thank you. And I think similar to JK, we're talking about platforms, internet platforms as a medium. And yeah, I think about this all the time. I think maybe not initially at first when I first started posting on the internet, but as time went on and the more I started posting to sites, they became almost the place. Well, it was like making work specifically for a website, the way the website looked. So, I mean, on Tumblr, I had my own custom blog, but I always kept the dashboard in mind too. I think a lot of people do this on Instagram now, where they curate their grid, right? So you want to make each photo sort of relate to each other. So that's, I think, in many ways treating the platform like a medium, because it's not just about the work that you're making, it's about how it's being presented in a larger sense. Vine certainly was its own medium. The constraints, right? It was 6 seconds, and you had to, and it looped sort of perfectly. So you worked in that constraint, and you made work that made sense in that medium. I think you're right. I mean, I miss Vine too, and I think because it was so unique for the time, it was a social network, but it was its own art form that people made art for. What else is there? Oh, well, so when it comes to YouTube and how I'm thinking about this, yeah, I'd like to see YouTube. I mean, and I feel like I am new to it, obviously. I mean, we've all watched YouTube for a decade already, but there's a real public access quality to it. So I think, and it feels like a television network in many ways. So, and I like that. So I like making content, for a lack of a better word, for this medium. And I don't like taking these and putting them anywhere else. It feels weird. It feels like they don't belong. These videos don't belong on Instagram. They don't belong on Threads or wherever else, whatever other social platform. This is supposed to be on YouTube. And it's okay that you watch it on your laptop or your tablet or your phone or even your TV. I know a lot of people do that. But it just feels like it works that way. It's supposed to be seen there. Instagram, no, it's just not right. I hate that people say you need to repost on all these platforms. I think that's garbage, bullshit. This is made for YouTube for now. I think this is a great question. The internet as a medium, and obviously plays into internet art, things like that. JK referenced land art, sort of space and time movement of art, bringing art outside of the white wall gallery. I mean, the internet is a space with lots of different spaces inside of it. And I think people use those spaces specifically and intentionally. Thanks for those calls, Dan and JK. Call back. Next caller.
Hey Noah, it's Brian from back in the Ken Rockwell days. Appreciate you taking my call last week. I'm eagerly anticipating Peter from Germany's response. I hope he does show up, and that you do continue to choose him. My question for you this week is thinking about comedy and photography, because I think the YouTube channel is pretty funny. It's got its moments for sure. And I don't know if that's because I've just known you, since the Ken Rockwell days, or if you're just genuinely funny. So it's a little bit confusing for me sometimes. But I think maybe you're pretty funny. But I don't think your photography is always that funny. It's really, you even said it's kind of moody and sullen, and I don't necessarily look at your pictures and laugh. But then I remember I have this book of yours called Primed. It's all the stuff you bought on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you talked about this yet, but it's from 2014. And I was going through this book, and I thought it was pretty funny in a very deadpan kind of, typology way. So I thought that was, maybe one of your funnier things. But it's, really, really kind of super dry. So I don't know, what's your relationship with, do you think, comedy and art? Because you kind of, I don't think you're thinking to be funny when you're making your photos, but you definitely on the YouTube channel you're trying to be funny. I mean, you are funny. You are funny, but if you are trying, do you see what I'm saying? There's somewhere in there about comedy and art, if you could articulate something, interesting or funny. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Brian, thanks for the call. There's a lot there. Great question. I mean, and I know we've known each other for a long time. So I know you've followed my work for quite a bit. You mentioned Prime. This is the book that you mentioned. It's still available. It's a book about things that I bought on Amazon that I photographed, and then it's printed through Amazon's print on demand platform. So if you buy it, they print it and then they ship it to you. That was sort of funny. And yeah, I mean, I'm going through this. I'll put some over this now, but I like some of these pictures actually. I'm glad you got it. Yeah, well, so when it comes to humor and art, well, first of all, comedy is obviously an art. I think one of the highest arts, in fact. It's very difficult, and when it's good, it's incredible, and it makes you think differently, and it lightens your spirit, perhaps. With my work personally, I do a mix of stuff. I do happen to think that I'm a funny person. I try, I guess, although I think maybe it is somewhat natural. We contain multitudes. I wrote a newsletter about this, Walt Whitman, and how, I don't know, just that things are random in our minds, and I don't like pigeonholing myself. And I think it can be exhausting for some artists when they become one thing, and that's all they can ever do, and that's all their personality is. I tend to think that I'm more than just one type of style or mood. And I just do like having a good time and being a little more lighthearted and not always taking myself so seriously, even when some of my work might be serious or be moody and darker. How it all ties together, not sure, but I'm not even sure if it matters if I can articulate it. I think we leave that to the historians later on in life after death. Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you again, Brian, for calling. Let's do another one. Last one, actually. We know who it's going to be.
Hello, Nova. It's Peter from Germany. You asked who my favorite German photographer was, and it's actually two people. It's the Beckers, Ela und Bernd Becker. Becker. Ach ja. They were a couple, and they spent 6 months in a Volkswagen with their toddler, and they were taking pictures of gold mines and water towers and architecture in a van. It was really van life. They had many creative rules, which I like, of course, and they're very formal, which I also like. And they influenced your favorite, Andreas Gurski. Okay, that was my answer. I also have one question for you. Has spring sprung yet over there? We have daffodils now. Bye.
Peter, thank you again for calling. We always appreciate it. Spring has not sprung here way too early, which, as we know, it's the first day of March now. I don't call spring here until May 1st. To me, that's the official start of spring where I live, so we have some time. The Beckers. Yes, of course. I mean, I got just, well, I didn't just buy this, but I got it maybe last year or 2 years ago at the MoMA, not the MoMA, the Met, Metropolitan Museum of Art just had a retrospective, which was amazing. It's funny, when people talk about real photographs, like what is a real photograph, they made real photographs. And when you see the prints in real life, it's black and white, silver gelatin prints, just absolutely spectacular stuff. I've, of course, known about them since college, art school. I was introduced to them by the chair of the photo department at School of Visual Arts, who recognized some of the work that I did, had a relationship to some of the work that they do. So, of course, I've known about them. And, of course, the whole German school of photography that has influenced numerous artists that many photographers know, like Thomas Struth, Andreas Gursky. So, yeah, of course, great answer. But some people are saying that you might not be real. Like this is all a ruse, that you're not actually from Germany. I don't know. And I don't know if it matters. So I don't think there's anything malicious happening. But I just wanted to throw it out there and see. Maybe you'll call back and explain yourself. You don't have to. But people are wondering. I obviously have nothing to do with it. And I appreciate your calls. So maybe we'll solve this mystery. Maybe we won't. But people are chatting out there that Peter from Germany might just be putting it on. But if you are, it's pretty good. So I don't know. Anyway, that's the Hotline Show for today. Thank you for all the calls. We have so many more calls I haven't banked. So keep calling. We'll see. Maybe I'll have to do more during the week, or an extra one or something. I do enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun. Call the number, like, subscribe. Go out. It's Friday. You're probably watching this on the weekend, though, or not on the day I'm releasing it. So do whatever. Do something else. Go bird watching. We'll see you soon. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that was a solid Hotline show. I think I can wrap this up. Getting out of here. It's late. All right. Hey, it's Noah. Thanks for calling. Please leave a message.
Hey, Noah, it's Dad. Calling you again this week. I really loved that alternate timeline, Noah. That was so clever, so well done, so funny, so enjoyable, and so creative. I really love your work. Keep it up. I look forward to it every day. Okay? Hope to see some more. Okay, bye-bye.